The thing is, I think it goes to show a bigger problem that you because we've seen obviously Rodri and some other bigger names, Kroos and people talk about load management. There's too many games. Kane should have come out and defended those players. That's what he should have done. A real captain would have come out and said, these players are probably suffering from the amount of games that are in the schedule at the moment. It's intense. They should be taking breaks. Players should be encouraged at this moment in time that if they're not 100%, to not be going on international breaks. You should be staying off international breaks so you can reset, recover, and come back fresh for the Premier League games, but not just the Premier League games. So you don't injure yourself going into those later international games because there's more and more breaks this season. They're 3 or 4 times more than what they used to be. Like, it's absolutely silly that a guy of his, like his status in just football itself, he needed to do better than that.
As a captain and a professional, he should have taken the positives from it as well. He should have said, obviously, we don't wish injury on any of our players, but this also gives a chance to some of the players coming up, some of the players that don't get a lot of time to prove themselves, to show that they can get into this England squad for the new competitions and that. Let other players find their way in, because you don't know, maybe Palmer, Saka, Foden don't get in the team, ain't in the team because they're injured, and all of a sudden someone that we don't really think about goes and starts really performing for England.
Do you know, for me, I think I'd have a bit more respect for him if he actually came out and said, I think it's highly ridiculous that all these players are being asked to play in the 3rd international break before December in the new season. That's where he should be coming out as a captain, like you say. And I think there's a lot of self-importance. I don't support England at all, so I don't have any really major things to say. But the only thing I have a problem with is the mentality of a lot of these England players, because was it in the Euros, he and Rice both moaning because people dared to say they weren't playing well, which we all saw England weren't really playing that well. And I think just sometimes just be a teammate. You're meant to be the captain. You're meant to be, rightly or wrongly, if you're the captain of a nation or a club, you're the figurehead. You're the one that everyone turns to for leadership, for guidance, and to back everyone else. And I don't think this is not an occasion for him to say anything negative in any way, shape, or form. Just say, like you said, Giuseppe, just say, these new players coming in, we can take a look at some new players, some people getting a debut. It's an exciting time. We've got a new manager coming in, and it's geared up to see what the future holds for England.
That's the big point. Tuchel's not even in charge yet. So this is another camp under the guy who's already said he doesn't want the job.
He's already getting slated. And you know where the media fucking gets up my nose, right? I'm doing a bit of a lead judges here, but they get right up my ooter.
Start grinding your teeth.
Is they get access that content creators like myself don't. And I don't know whether I would like the access, because I'd like to ask certain questions. I know you wouldn't be able to ask the questions I want to, but I'd like the access. But for me, what I haven't seen from any of these journalists is them investigate why it's January that the manager starts. Maybe there's a clause with his exit from Bayern Munich where he can't start to a certain point. Maybe there is family commitments that he just cannot get out of in that. Like, I guarantee there is a logical and reasonable reason. But what they do, these journalists, is they ignore, they don't even investigate it, and then go about how incensed they are. I did a video about it the other night, and genuinely, I watched these 2 journalists, one from The Sun and one from the Mirror, talk, and they were bordering on along the lines of asking Keir Starmer to fucking invade Germany again. It was like, what, you could just see the sort of the xenophobia coursing through their veins. Oh, because he's German, this is a disgrace. If it was an Englishman that had to wait, if we went and got Eddie Howe, but had to wait until January, they'd look into why. So they go, oh, listen, guys, I know it's January and it's hard, but the Newcastle contract dictated this. And they would find a way of defending it. But because it's Thomas Tuchel and he's German, they want to, I'm honest, I do want England to win always. But I want them to win even more now that we've got a German in charge. There's something about it. And again, these little Englanders, this is where they all annoy me. I'm quite a patriotic person in some cases, but not like them. Those sort of flag shaggers make me feel a bit sick. But there's this element of, don't you see the fun in this? If he wins us a major trophy, we get to banter the Germans that one of yours helped us win it. That for me is so much more fun. Like, genuinely, so much more fun. But I don't know, like, people just, I suppose that's the problem when you're a flag shagger, is your IQ's low by default, isn't it? So that's what happens. But I don't know. I think it's true.
I mean, the real irony today is apparently Harry Kane's even a doubt for this game with fitness. So if you want to talk about irony.
Sorry, say that again?
Harry Kane's a doubt for this game due to his fitness.
Fuck off.
There's no chance
Like
of this
everyone
game.
else
This is another chance to
Okay.
stack out some goals, man, to that record.
can't-
Don't get
In fairness, they did beat.
for England.
They
That's
did
all
beat
he's
us in the last game. They did beat us in the last game. Yeah, but that's because that man, I do blame you two for this, as in you two and your fan base. You gaslit Kane for years that scoring records were as good as trophies and individual achievements were made you a better player than winning trophies. It's so like he's got Stockholm. It's not left him. It's not left him. It really hasn't left him. I've got to get a stat. You know what I mean? So, bro, I don't care if Harry Kane scores no more goals for us if he helps lead us to win a trophy. The goals now, like from him, don't matter. Win us the damn trophy. What's you say, Terry? I don't want McLaren managing Jamaica. Okay,
Steve McLaren. He's Jamaica's new manager.
I know. I just Maradona's just a weird guy. I never quite know. Terry, you went to Qatar, not Manchester. I went there for my work, my friend. Yes. I didn't say I don't support England. I didn't say that I wouldn't go to an international tournament. I just said that if I had a magic wand now, and I could wave it to win a World Cup or a Champions League for England or for Man United, but I only pick one. I'm picking another Champions League for Man United. I wouldn't pick the World Cup for England. Simple as that.
No, I'm picking that World Cup, man.
No,
I'm picking that World Cup. Think of the vibes, Terry. The vibes of the country.
I'd love it. Listen, what was gutted when we were in Germany, like we didn't get the chance to do it. We got right to the final. We had the trophy with us. I had the ribbons ready. We were gonna. I don't know what song we were gonna play, but I was so looking forward to driving through. We had this big van driving through a German town and city with the trophy, blasting out England songs, trolling them. Right? I was looking forward to doing that, but I would much rather go to a Man United parade with another Champions League than England win the World Cup. I just know it in my heart. That's what I would choose.
I agree.
That's nuts to me.
You would take a Carabao Cup for Spurs.
All done. Tottenham fans saying they wouldn't take a club trophy. I think
Come
you
on,
need
boy.
one.
What, you wouldn't
I think
take
you
a
need
Premier League? You would rather England win
Over the World Cup? Are you
Premier
out
League for Spurs?
No,
I'm sorry.
Premier League for Spurs.
Premier League for Spurs.
You want to put a World Cup on the table and we can put a Premier League, mate? You've lost your mind.
A World Cup.
Yeah, but
Joey
Essex is very English. We've already found out he does marching powder at the weekend. Like the lady of the night.
Joey Essex.
You are Joey Essex. That's what they're calling you now.
Henry, what would you take, a World Cup or a Champions League before Arsenal win one? So you get a Champions League before Arsenal's got
Champions League.
Oh my God! He's already just disgraced treason already on his country.
The question was League Cup or a World Cup, yeah? World
No,
Cup.
I turned around and said a champ. You had a go at me for saying.
Title.
Hang on. Hang on. You had a go at me for saying I'd pick Man United to win the Champions League over England winning the World Cup. But you've just said you'd take a Champions League over winning the World Cup as well.
No, I thought the question was a League Cup or the World Cup.
No, I did not. But you had a go at me when I said I'd pick the Champions League. You are Joey Essex, bro. You are Joey Essex. What? I need to ask you a question, Joey. What country is next to Wales?
Hang on, why am I being called Joey?
Because of that answer.
He's stolen. You thought
a conversation about Leon Osman and Lee Cattermole involvement in United, right?
Because I was thinking about Howard Webb. And
what was the other thing that he said? He said something else a minute ago. You thought Evan Ferguson was English, right?
Well, English and Irish are the same country. We just use different currencies.
It's the same country.
It's the same.
We use different currencies. We're practically the same.
So are we the same as German and the French as well?
Well, no, because there's clearly a different culture there.
Have you never been to fucking Ireland?
Oh my God!
You're digging yourself into.
My son's Irish. My son is half Irish. But like my son, I've been there a lot.
Basically,
it's a different country, bruv. It's a different world, a different way of life.
They drink Guinness. It's practically the same.
Oh my God!
I've been to Dublin 6 times, and it is very similar to London. Very, very similar.
Have you been to Ireland though, outside the tourist areas?
No, I was supposed to go to Cork last year. I didn't go in the end.
You're a tourist, bruv. Like literally, most cities in the world. If you go to New York, London, Paris, or Dublin, and just get drunk in the tourist spots, when you're drunk, you don't actually know which fucking country you're in. They're all the same. That's not visiting a country. That's why when me and KJ went to Doha, same as when we went to Germany, we were living out with real people. It's such a different experience to staying in a hotel with tourists. It's amazing. Like even though where we lived in Germany. Oh my god! Honestly,
that was
our
awful.
apartment and in this big like housing estate. There's about 5 apartments, one of which we were living in, that had people in it. The rest of them were all derelict and empty. It was a really weird place. And every German we told where we were staying went, "Oh, I'm sorry." they even the Germans are like, "Why are you there?" KJ picked
people
it.
saying, "Henry, please be trolling." Like, I don't know what
I've
we're
only just
doing.
realised Henry's thinking of Joey Essex.
Henry's great.
I think because you're just offending every single Irish person. I think
French and Germany's the same place.
I mean, it's just,
America and Canada, same thing.
Can I ask you a question?
there's a completely different culture thing there.
Do you see
different culture in Ireland?
very different culture?
Really, though, is it? I mean,
someone who's Irish heritage, it's very different. Mate.
I've got Irish heritage.
Outside the Temple, we've clearly never been outside the Temple Bar.
I have been
it's
to
a very different place. Temple Bar. Temple Bar. That's it.
Yeah, I've been to Ireland.
Oh
my
god!
god!
Bar again. It's about
15
20 quid a drink or 20 euros a drink.
He's worried about the money. Listen, I was very lucky to spend a lot of time in that beautiful country, and it is very different. I remember my first experience I had. I was over there for a weekend. I was waiting outside a takeaway, not very late, about 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, in this little quaint village about an hour north of Dublin. I'm sitting in the car. The other half went into the takeaway. I think it was Chinese to get some food. And this guy walked up to me, knocked on the window, and he started talking to me again. You're right. And there's me, East Londoner, still living in the East End. And I'm like, bruv, I said, do I know you? Getting all funny. She comes out, starts chatting to him, getting along. Oh, cheers, see you, bye. I drove off. I was like, do you know him? No, I just met him now. That was a culture shock for me, that strangers would have full-on conversations. There's me going, who you talking to, bruv? Because that's how I know the culture's
every
different.
Bar in Essex.
No, shut up, you tart. Shut up, you tart.
You used to work in Chelmsford, right?
Hang on a minute. Maybe when you're out drunk, people chat to each other. I'm talking about in England, we don't have a culture where strangers stand there and talk to each other like long lost friends. We don't.
That's only in London. We don't have that.
One example. No, you don't do it in Essex either. I've been there, bruv.
You went to
used to live there.
One place in Essex.
Sorry, no, I used to live on Canvey Island.
I wouldn't advise going there, but
he's offending he's offending the Canveyites now. This man is on a roll today. The Canveyites, yeah, that's what they're called.
But it is a very similar country. I'm not having that. It's a completely
the weather's pretty similar. The weather's pretty similar. I'll give you that.
So me being Italian and saying, "Oh, I'm very much like Portugal and Spain." And
Latin languages, isn't it?
The thing you would have more of an argument if you said Wales or Scotland, because at least they're connected to us.
Joey Essex is a flag shagger. He really is a flag shagger, isn't he? He absolutely.
Ireland and England are similar. We're both just at football. That's another thing we're similar at.
Terrible take from Henry. Very, very terrible take indeed. England will win tonight. There's no doubt. We're going to be live after that game. I want to speak a bit.